left Peru and sailed to England alone. There he met the Browns and they took him home. Now a new life has begun. He's Windsor Garden's favorite son, 'cause he always does his best to help everyone. When a problem appears, he never misses a beat and always finds a way to land on his feet. Has his very own unique point of view, looks at everything as if it's brand new. He is friendly and polite, and he tries to do things right, but he gets in sticky messes just the same. He's curious and speaks his mind, but trouble's never far behind. It's Paddington Bear, he's one of a kind.
I'm Paddington Bear. Dear Aunt Lucy, yesterday in the newspaper, I read about hundreds of people stuck underground, and I started thinking that it was time someone rescued them.
Paddington, what on earth are you doing?
Good morning, Mrs. Brown. I'm rescuing the people stuck underground.
People? Under the ground?
It says right here, hundreds stuck in underground.
Oh, Paddington, it means in the underground.
That's it, underground, down there.
Paddington, the underground is the name of a train that travels under the ground. People ride on it.
Really? There's nothing like that in darkest Peru.
Well, if you hurry up with your breakfast, Judy and I will take you for a nice ride on the underground.
Hurrying with breakfast was something I was very good at. The grapefruit, though, was a bit of a problem.
Paddington, do hurry.
I decided to take the rest of my breakfast along for later. And you never know when a nice crisp piece of bacon might come in handy.
Really? You're the stickiest bear I've ever met.
There seems to be a smell of bacon everywhere this morning. Can you smell it, Paddington?
Yes, it's very strong.
Here we are. Come along. Down we go.
Thank goodness someone's already dug the hole for us.
Now, don't lose your ticket.
An inspector may want to see it. And please stay with us. You mustn't get lost.
Bears never get lost. Sorry, but this is my bacon for later.
Paddington?
Halt! I say halt!
Shoo, I say, shoo! Oh, dear, I have a funny feeling that today is going to be one of those days.
Yes, I certainly hope so.
The next train will be arriving in 1 minute.
Oh dear, it's happened. Paddington is lost.
Well, it happened. Judy and Mrs. Brown were lost.
Here, young fellow. You can't bring your dogs on the underground. Strictly against the rules.
But they're not my dogs. You see, in darkest Peru, we don't have an underground, and these dogs followed my bacon, and Judy and Mrs. Brown are lost.
Lost, you say? What do they look like?
Mrs. Brown has a hat with pink flowers. Well, just like that one.
Not so fast there.
Excuse me, Inspector. We're looking for a young bear. He's about so tall, wearing a dark blue duffel coat.
Up there.
Thank you ever so much.
They wanted my bacon that I brought for breakfast.
Oh, I'd like to get my hands on that fellow. Your lost friends are downstairs looking for you, Mr. Bear.
Mrs. Brown, Judy.
My scarf! Come back!
Hello. I'm so glad I found you.
Wait for us at the bottom, Paddington.
Oh. My suitcase!
Mrs. Brown! Judy!
Oh, I do hope Paddington will think to wait for us at the next station.
This isn't mine! My briefcase. Thank goodness.
My bacon and my marmalade sandwich. Thank goodness.
You must like marmalade.
Oh, yes. Don't you?
I have to. I travel in marmalade.
That sounds very uncomfortable.
I mean, that's my job. I sell it. Let me give you one of my samples.
Thank you very much. I've never had travelling marmalade before. Except for the marmalade my Aunt Lucy gave me for my journey over from darkest Peru.
Did you say you're from Peru?
Oh, yes. My Aunt Lucy still lives there, in the home for retired bears.
Oh, no, no! He's going back!
Travelling on the underground is like going in circles. I ended up right where I started.
My scarf, if you please.
Sorry.
Bringing dogs into the underground? Stealing a lady's scarf? All serious offences they are. Where's your ticket?
I didn't steal the scarf. It just got caught in my suitcase. And my ticket is... I'm sure it's here somewhere. Hope I haven't eaten it by mistake.
Eaten it? That's a very serious offence. I shall have to take you into custody.
No, no. I need to wait for Judy and Mrs. Brown.
Halt! I say, halt!
The red button said emergency. And if ever there was an emergency, this was it.
Ha! There you are.
Ha! There you are.
I must say, despite all the trouble you've caused, thank you for helping us catch this ruffian. We've been after him for a long time. What's your name, young fellow?
Paddington Brown.
It's an honor, I'm sure. Yes, an honor.
So, Paddington, how did you enjoy your first trip on the Underground?
Well, the inspector was rather nice. In the end. There you are. Though I'm afraid it must be cold by now. You're welcome.
So that's why.
Good old Paddington.
And then, me dear Lucy, I told Mrs. Brown that the next time we ride on the Underground, she should hold my paw so that she doesn't get lost again. We were in Japan to research sumo wrestling for Mr. Gruber's book, The World and Its Wonders. A rikishi? The kinboshi haya?
A rikishi is a young sumo, Mr. Brown. And the kinboshi haya is the sumo school we're going to visit today. Fascinating. So this is a haya.
Hello, I am the Okayata, the teacher here.
I am Paddington Brown from darkest Peru.
Erikishi from darkest Peru. Right this way.
Young Mr. Brown isn't here to become a sumo. He's here to help me research a book I'm writing.
Are you sure? I see great promise in him. He has a warrior's fire in his eyes. Yes, that's it. Where did you learn such a powerful stare?
My Aunt Lucy taught it to me. It's been handed down.
Very fierce indeed. Perhaps you can do us the honor of teaching it to our Rikishi.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that. I promised my Aunt Lucy never to reveal the secret.
Ah, yes. Tradition. Perhaps you would like to join our class for the day.
It might be good research for your book, Mr. Gruber.
Please join the class in the back. I will see that Mr. Gruber receives a tour of the haya.
Is this the sumo class? A sleeping sumo. Where's my camera? Pardon me, my name is Paddington... Whoa! I don't think he likes me. It's a good thing for him Mrs. Bird isn't here.
Ah, there you are. While Mr. Gruber is touring the haya with my secretary, you can sit in on a real Rikishi training session. This sand shifting exercise builds upper body strength and lower body balance. Perhaps you would like to try. Well done, Rikishi.
Bears are good at shifting sand.
It is time for dojo training. The purpose of sumo is to force your opponent out of the dojo, this specially marked combat circle. The first one out of the circle is the loser. If you both step out of the circle, the one whose feet touch the ground first loses the match. Each of you will have a turn to try to defeat Hiroshi.
Oh no, not him again.
Hajime! Next! Next!
Oops. Next.
I think it's time someone taught that bully a lesson. Oh dear, I think that's me.
He is so puny. I will squash him like an ant.
I'm beginning to wish Mrs. Bird was here after all.
Hajime! Begin! Oh, lunch! The training will continue in the dining area.
Phew, saved by the bell. I hope it's a long lunch. It seems eating is a very important part of sumo training.
Try to keep up with Hiroshi, but don't feel badly if you can't. After all, he is our champion eater.
May I have some more, please?
More? More chankonabe? But there is no more.
Ooh. No more chankonabe? Well, don't worry. I have plenty of marmalade. Not only was he a big bully, but he didn't like marmalade. Imagine that.
And now for the most important part of a Rikishi's training. Sleep.
The snoring was keeping me awake, so I decided to carry on with my tour.
Quickly, it's time for the tournament.
A tournament? Just what Mr. Gruber needs for his book.
Oh, your young friend seems to have disappeared, Mr. Gruber.
I do hope he doesn't miss the big tournament.
Ah, do not worry. I don't think he will miss it.
Everyone came dressed for the occasion. I kept my duffel coat on, and everyone seemed to like it. And then everything got quiet. Oh! It was finally time to teach that bully a lesson once and for all.
The bear wins! The bear wins? But how? Hiroshi stepped out of the circle first, and the bear's paws haven't yet touched the ground. Okayata, you are happy because I lost?
No, Hiroshi. I am happy because you have learned humility, one of the most valuable lessons of all.
Thank you, Paddington son. And Could I please try that marmalade now?
Dear Aunt Lucy, yesterday the strangest thing happened. There was a knocking sound, but I couldn't tell where it was coming from. You'll be pleased to know I'd overslept, and it was only a bad dream. Until, wide awake, I still heard the knocking. And guess what? Someone was putting up a shed in the garden. I must tell the others. Have you seen the new shed in the garden?
We're looking at the new shed in the garden.
You mean you know?
Sure, Paddington. It's a surprise birthday present for Dad. It's a sauna. You sit inside, pour water on heated up stones to make steam, and the steam opens up the pores in your skin.
What if you have fur?
Don't know really. Anyway, after the sauna you pour a bucket of cold water over yourself.
Mrs. Brown and Judy worked hard convincing Mr. Brown to go shopping with them, so it can be a surprise when he gets home.
Perhaps I could test it for him, Mrs. Bird.
Certainly not. You can have a closer look, but no going inside. It's Mr. Brown's present, and he must have the first go.
Bear! Oh. Was that you making all that noise just now?
Oh, no, Mr. Curry. It woke me, too.
Did you say woke me? I never sleep. What's all that smoke? I have a good mind to report it.
It's a sauna, and it's for Mr. Brown's birthday.
A sauna, eh? I've never tried one of those.
It's supposed to be very good for you. You should try it sometime.
That's very kind of you, Bear. There's no time like the present. Come along. You can help me find my towel.
I didn't say you could. I only said Mr. Brown might. Oh, dear.
Look over in that corner, will you, Bear?
Mr. Curry, I'm not sure you understood what I meant.
Of course I did. The stones heat up, you pour water over them, and voila! Steam!
I think I'm in trouble again.
Ah, yes, a nice sauna. Now, I mustn't forget to lock up. As it's my first sauna, I think I shall take my time.
Lock up? Mr. Curry had given me an idea. I was saved. I'd bought a lock for Mr. Brown for his tool shed, but it seemed to me it would be better to put it on the door of the new sauna to keep Mr. Curry out. Then I heard the same knocking that had woken me up in the morning. At first, it was more muffled than before. Excuse me, is anyone there?
Yes, there is. Let me out at once.
Mr. Curry? Coming. Don't worry, I've only got to set up my birthday date, the 25th of June.
It's not the 25th of June, and it's not your birthday. It's Mr. Brown's. Bear! I'm being boiled alive in here.
I see what you mean. You look just like one of those lobsters they have at the fish stalls in the market. Don't worry, Mr. Curry, I've just the thing. Stand by, Mr. Curry.
You're making more steam!
That's when I remembered. Jonathan said the bucket of water is for after the sauna. I thought it might be time to call in an expert.
Hello, Goldie's Locks. We've got the lock that's just right.
Oh, hello, Mr. Goldie. It's me, Paddington Brown. It's about the lock you sold me. I'm afraid I've forgotten the combination.
That's no problem, Mr. Brown. Bring it down and I'll open it for you.
I can't really bring the lock down, Mr. Goldie. It's locked to the door of Mr. Brown's new sauna, and Mr. Curry is stuck inside.
Well, you can cut it off or try to open it like one of those thieves on the telly. You know, listen for the tumblers to click and crack it open, as they say.
Thank you for the advice, Mr. Goldie.
Bear, get me out of here!
Mr. Curry, please, I know this will be difficult for you, but you must be absolutely quiet for the next few minutes.
I can be quiet. Quiet as a mouse. Just please let me out of here. Bear.
Hello?
Good morning. Goldie's Locks here. Tell Paddington I remember the combination. It's his birthday. Now we can get Mr. Curry out.
Paddington locked Mr. Curry in the sauna?
We're home.
I'll go and help Paddington.
I'll keep your father talking.
Paddington! The locksmith called and said the combination is your birthday.
But I tried my birthday.
Which one? Don't forget bears are like the Queen. They have 2 birthdays a year.
December the 25th, my other birthday. How could I forget? Ah! Well, at least I got one thing right. The bucket of cold water after the sauna.
Mrs. Bird, you mind? What would I want with a sweater? I don't even have my coat off.
Surprise!
Happy birthday!
Oh, and what do we have here?
It's your new sauna, and it's all ready to go.
Ha! Ready indeed.
Is that you, Mr. Curry? I vote we all have a nice hot sauna. Would you care to join us?
You won't catch me in that monstrosity. I've half a mind to report it.
I wonder what's got into him.
I think perhaps he's all steamed up about something, Mr. Brown.